Good morning, teaching lovers. Today is going to be the first time we speak about learning theories. One of the most well-known learning theories is behaviorism that started with Pavlov and his dog and ended with Skinner and his rat. In today's presentation, we're going to speak about concepts such as conditioning, stimulus, response, reinforcement, reward, and punishment. So without further ado, let's begin. Our presentation wouldn't be complete without a clear understanding of what happened in Pavlov's experiment. Pavlov had a dog, and like most people, he had to feed the dog. The dog salivates at the sight of food, which is a normal reaction that is activated because of food. Before conditioning, the food is considered an unconditioned stimulus that results in an unconditioned response. This means that every single dog on Earth would naturally salivate when given food. But wait, what if you ring a bell? Would the dog salivate? The answer is absolutely not. The saliva is an outcome of food, not the bell. That's why the bell is a neutral stimulus that leads to no response. The second phase is called during conditioning. In this phase, Pavlov rang the bell whenever he gave food to his dog. Notice that the dog's response is still unconditioned. With time, Pavlov would ring the bell and the dog would come to him salivating even if there is no food. To make the dog salivate, you just need to ring the bell. In this case, the bell has become a conditioned stimulus that produces a conditioned response. The dog made an association between the sound of the bell and food and reacted to that sound the same way he reacts to food. Now that we have an idea about classical conditioning, let's move to education to see how it works. Imagine a teacher explaining a specific lesson, but the students are talking. The moment the teacher says silence, everybody gets silent. The word silence is an unconditioned stimulus that leads to a normal, unconditioned response. But wait, what if the teacher claps? Would the students get silent? They are more likely to stare at him, not knowing what to do, while others may keep talking. The clapping is a neutral stimulus that doesn't lead to the desired response. The second phase, like we said before, is the one during which the teacher would make a connection between the clapping and the word silence. He would clap his hands and at the same time say silence. After a few weeks, the teacher would only clap his hands and the students become silent. The clapping is then no longer a neutral stimulus because it was conditioned in such a way that leads to a conditioned response, which is the students getting silent. Another scholar whose work showed up as an addition to Pavlov's theory is Skinner. He placed a rat inside a box where there is a lever that the rat touched accidentally as it was exploring the box. Once the lever is pressed, the food came out. So like Pavlov's dog, Skinner's rat made an association between pressing the lever and getting the food, as you can see in the following video. The rat is constantly pressing the lever in anticipation of the food. Skinner then said to himself, "How can we encourage or discourage a specific action? Is it even possible to do that?" He therefore added an electric grid to the box. The electric shock stops only when the rat presses the lever. This is what Skinner described as punishment. The latter can be divided into two categories. Negative punishment happens when you add something to decrease a behavior, just like the electric grid in the box. Negative punishment is when you remove something to decrease a behavior. Let's say, for example, a student who fails an exam. When his parents find out, they change the password of the Wi-Fi as a negative punishment. That is meant to decrease a behavior, which is failing the exam. Notice here, punishment is all about decreasing unwanted behaviors. Positive reinforcement, on the other hand, is about increasing and encouraging a specific behavior. Skinner wanted the rat to press the lever, so the removal of the electric shock is a negative reinforcement. That is meant to encourage the rat pressing the lever. Once again, let's go back to education. Examples of positive reinforcement would be the teacher telling students things such as, "Excellent, good job, keep going," when they say or do something good. Or he may stop saying those words when somebody misbehaves or forgets to do his homework as a negative punishment. There are instances when the teacher gives a student -1 or 2 for their misbehaviors, which is a negative punishment.